What's up, hospitality? Mauricio Schulering here, and today you will experience something new. This is an experiment, and I would love to hear your feedback. Today, you will experience my first AI podcast. That's right. Named Gen Z's Growth Hunt, Why Hospitality is Ghosted, and the Radical Fixes Needed is a mix of my research about Gen Z in the workplace and my conversation with Gen Z specialist Benoit van Kavenberg on last week's episode. The original research and our unique conversation was then processed by AI tools and brought to you as a conversation that brings data, insights, and conclusions made by humans and AI. Again, this is my research. This is our conversation. It's all new and unique content, only summarized and brought to you by AI characters. Right, it's time. Hang on and let me know what you feel.
Welcome to the Deep Dives. You know the drill. We grab a huge stack of sources today. It's reports from Deloitte, Randstad, some deep industry dives, expert commentary, and we really boil it all down.
Yep, same mission as always. Getting you the crucial knowledge minus the headache of sifting through it all yourself.
And today, we're tackling something huge. The generational shift shaking up the global workforce. We're talking Gen Z.
Right. And let's get one thing straight right off the bat. If you're thinking job hopper, maybe park that term for a bit. Our sources are pretty much unanimous on this. Gen Z are better defined as growth hunters, not job hoppers.
Growth hunters. I like that. It's a really important distinction, and it sets up our mission perfectly for today, doesn't it?
It really does.
We're diving into why this generation, these ambitious growth hunters, seem to be, ghosting the hospitality industry, an industry that's massive, always growing.
Absolutely booming, yeah.
So we're looking for the structural issues, the changes needed to actually keep this vital talent pool, not just in the industry, but engaged and, thriving.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's do it. So maybe start with the hard data. The numbers on career mobility are, frankly, quite startling.
Yeah, lay it on us. What did Randstad find?
Okay, so they looked at, get this, over 126 million job postings globally. And the finding, for Gen Z, the average time they spend in a job during their first 5 years.
Yeah.
It's just 1.1 years.
Wow, 1.1. That's incredibly short. How does that compare?
Well, it's way shorter than millennials, who clocked in at about 1.8 years, and we already thought they were mogul. It's a completely different ballgame.
And it's crucial to say this isn't about being flaky, right? The data suggests it's ambition driving this movement.
Exactly. Pure ambition. So the immediate hit for employers, you've got rocketing HR costs, constant retraining. It's a revolving door.
Makes sense.
And Gen Z isn't shy about it. About 1 in 3 plan to switch jobs in the next year. And the reason they give right after better pay is the lack of clear paths for progression. They move because they're hunting for that next step. Constantly.
Okay, so they want to move up. But what exactly are they hunting for? Besides just the salary increase, what did Deloitte find in their big survey?
Ah, yes, Deloitte. They coined this term, the money, meaning, and well-being trifecta. Gen Z, they argue, is looking for a balance of all three.
Money, meaning, well-being. Makes sense.
But money, yeah, it often comes first out of necessity. Financial insecurity is a huge factor. Almost 48% told Deloitte they just don't feel financially secure right now.
That's a big number, and it really paints a picture of the pressure they're under. Yet, despite that financial anxiety, their actual career goals aren't what you might expect, are they?
No, not really. It's fascinating. Deloitte found only about 6%, just 6%, said their main goal was climbing the ladder to a top leadership spot.
So what do they prioritize then?
Work-life balance. A massive 32% put that above everything else. They want success, sure, but, not if it means sacrificing their entire personal life for it.
And learning, where does that fit in?
Oh, crucial. Learning and development opportunities consistently rank in their top 3 reasons for picking an employer. They're hungry to grow skills.
So grow, but with balance and well-being.
Precisely. But and here's a twist, that pursuit of well-being seems to be getting complicated by the very digital tools they grew up with.
Ah, the digital paradox. Let's talk about that zero bounds report. These are digital natives, right? So you'd think they'd be completely comfortable.
You would think, and email is actually their favorite channel for work communication. 42% picked it number one.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Well, despite preferring it, 53% also say email stresses them out.
Nah,
Majorly.
Why? What's stressful about email for them?
It's the tone, the formality. Get this. 57% aren't sure how formal they need to be in a work email. They're used to emojis and quick texts, and then bam, workplace email demands this whole other, often unwritten code.
That sounds awkward.
Yeah, it's stressful, yeah.
And it connects to something deeper. The report found 60% use email specifically to avoid difficult or uncomfortable conversations.
Oof. So using email to, like, hide.
That's exactly how experts are framing it. They call it a maladaptive coping mechanism. Basically, they're using email's distance to shield themselves from face-to-face stuff.
Which is where you actually build those crucial soft skills, negotiation, handling feedback.
Exactly. The very skills they say they value. So there's this tension, this paradox, right at the heart of their digital communication habits.
Okay, so summing up this first part.
Yeah.
We have this generation, ambitious, wants growth fast, skilled with AI, 75% use it to learn new skills.
Right, but also facing fewer entry-level jobs. That's another pressure point.
Good point. And they're financially anxious, but they really value balance, development, and meaning. The picture's pretty clear.
It is.
So if they're so ambitious, these growth hunters, why on earth are they seemingly avoiding an industry like hospitality? An industry that's, by all accounts, absolutely thriving globally. Now that is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? Because you're right, the industry is on fire. We're talking a $4.9 trillion global market.
Huge numbers.
And jobs. It created nearly 330 million globally in 2024. A new position opens up like every 2.5 seconds. It should be a magnet for young talent.
It should be. But the numbers, they tell a totally different story, especially when you look at Europe, right?
Oh, absolutely. In Europe, the average share of hospitality workers under 25 is hovering around just 19.6%.
90.6, that sounds low. How does it compare elsewhere?
It lags way behind. The U.S. is up at 33.1% and Australia. A massive 43% of their hospitality workforce is under 25.
Wow. Okay, so Europe has a serious gap, a real talent emergency brewing.
Definitely an emergency. And the analysis points fingers, well, partly at the pandemic. COVID seems to have really cemented this idea that hospitality is just a risky career option.
Risky how? Low pay, long hours. That old stereotype.
Pretty much. Low pay, notoriously long and often inflexible shifts, not much control over your schedule. The pandemic just amplified those concerns.
Okay, but is it just perception, or is there a deeper, more structural mismatch here?
Right.
This is where Benoit van Kouwenberg comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Gen Z expert from 20-something.
Exactly. Benoit's work focuses specifically on Gen Z in Europe, and he argues the industry is struggling because its fundamental structure clashes with what Gen Z wants, what they need.
What's the core clash, according to him?
It's simple, really.
Yeah.
Traditional hospitality offers rigidity, fixed roles, uniforms, set shifts, this slow climb-the-ladder mentality.
Right, the old way.
Whereas Gen Z craves the opposite. Fluidity, flexibility, a sense of ownership over their work and seeing their impact quickly. Benoit puts it brilliantly. They're not allergic to hard work. They are fundamentally allergic to stagnation.
Allergic to stagnation. That captures it perfectly. And the irony is, the industry needs what Gen Z brings, doesn't it? They aren't just a demographic to manage, they're a huge asset.
A massive asset. Think about it. They're digital natives. They walk in the door fluent in tech talk, Instagram, social media strategy.
Things hotels are desperately trying to figure out.
Exactly. Plus, they often have this entrepreneurial spark. They can drive innovation, think mobile check-in apps, personalized guest experiences using AI. And remember that study. They actually showed a preference for working in tech-advanced hotels, even during the pandemic.
So the interest is there, potentially.
Ah.
And it's not just tech skills, is it? They also seem to value soft skills differently.
They really do. They often prioritize things like empathy, communication, leadership, the human touch, sometimes even over deep technical know-how, because they get that the guest experience is ultimately about people.
And the values piece.
Yeah.
Purpose, ethics.
Huge for them. They want to work for companies whose values align with their own. Sustainability, diversity, social justice. These aren't just buzzwords. And they have a built-in radar for greenwashing or any kind of insincerity.
So it seems like a potential perfect match. Customer-facing skills, digital savvy, Values-driven.
Which brings us back to Van Cauwenberg's core point for management. It's critical. The industry isn't losing Gen Z because the generation is somehow fragile or difficult.
It's losing them
Because the system isn't working for them. The structure itself, the rigidity, the lack of visible growth, the slow pace, that's the problem. The focus has to shift from trying to fix the employees to fixing the work structure.
Okay, so that's the diagnosis. How do we fix the system? What's the prescription? This is where Van Cauwenberger's firm, 20-something, offers that blueprint, right, for a Gen Z compatible structure.
Exactly. And it starts with something pretty radical, actually, he says. Ditch the old-fashioned job description.
Ditch the job description. What do you replace it with?
With a mission.
Yeah.
This is maybe the most powerful takeaway. Instead of listing tasks like front desk clerk, answer phones, check guests in, which is task-driven.
Right, very procedural.
You define the role by its purpose, its mission. So the mission isn't answer phones. It's maybe ensure a seamless guest onboarding experience or create an unforgettable first impression.
Ah, I see. That reframing gives them more ownership, more freedom in how they achieve the goal.
Precisely. It grants them the agency to use their skills, digital, creative, whatever, to fulfill the core purpose. It's about empowerment, not just listing duties.
Love that. And he has specific strategies GMs can use, right? Things they can do, like tomorrow.
Yes, 4 really concrete ones, often low-cost, high-impact stuff. First, treat the hotel like a learning lab.
A learning lab.
Meaning, stop sticking young hires in one role for ages. They're growth hunting, remember. So set up systematic job rotations, maybe a few months at the front office, then shift them to guest experience, maybe let them help with social media for a bit, or shadow the sales team. Feed that need for variety and constant learning.
Okay, that makes sense. Keep them moving, keep them learning. What's number 2?
Build micro-careers. Since they won't wait years for a promotion, give them small, defined projects they can own from start to finish.
Like what kind of projects?
Could be anything, really. Redesigning the grab-and-go breakfast display, running the hotel's TikTok account for a week during a local festival, developing a new walking tour map for guests. Small scale, but it gives them leadership experience, something tangible for their resume, and it builds loyalty because they feel trusted and see their impact.
Visible impact again.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3.
Train for what actually matters. Go beyond just the SOPs, the standard operating procedures. Focus training on emotional intelligence.
EQ, right. How to handle tricky situations.
Exactly. Train them on navigating difficult conversations with guests, but also with teammates. Practice giving and receiving constructive feedback. You're investing in them as future leaders, as problem solvers, not just people who follow a script.
That feels much more respectful of their potential. And the last one, number 4.
Make them visible. Don't hide your junior talent away. Invite them to management meetings, not necessarily to run the show, but to observe, maybe even share their perspective as, someone closer to the guest demographic.
Let them see the bigger picture. Hear the strategic discussions.
Right. Their ideas might need polishing, sure, but just showing you value their viewpoint. That builds incredible trust and fosters that internal ambition you want to keep.
Those 4 points feel very actionable. Learning lab, micro careers, EQ training, visibility. It changes the whole dynamic.
It really does. And this thinking extends all the way to recruitment. Van Cauwenberg talks about shifting from selling the job description to selling the emotion selling proposition.
Emotion selling proposition, ESP. Okay, what does that mean in practice?
It means focusing on the feeling, the purpose, the impact the role offers, not just listing the salary and benefits. Tap into that desire for meaning we talked about earlier.
And they have some creative recruitment ideas too, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, forget generic referral bonuses. Try a Hi My Best Friends program, encouraging staff to bring in people they genuinely think would fit the culture and the mission.
More personal, more authentic.
Totally. And my favorite interview tip they suggest: have the candidate actually stay overnight in the hotel before the interview.
Stay overnight. Why?
Then you spend part of the interview discussing their experience as a totally fresh guest, a virgin guest. It's genius. It instantly shows you their observational skills, their empathy for the guest journey, their ability to articulate what worked and what didn't, basically their EQ in action.
That is brilliant. You learn so much more than asking, what are your strengths?
Exactly. So when you put it all together, the big picture is pretty clear, isn't it? Gen Z's mobility, their desire for growth, it's not really a threat.
It's more like
an invitation. An invitation, yeah. A massive invitation for the hospitality industry to innovate, to become more flexible, more growth-oriented itself. It needs to meet Gen Z where they are, prioritizing respect, fluidity, and clear, fast paths for growth.
It reminds me of that example we discussed, the 25 Hours Hotel next to the zoo,
Yeah.
where the monkeys literally wake you up. It's quirky, unique, authentic, and experience designed for the customer.
Right, memorable, creates a story.
So the final thought for you listening, especially if you're a leader in hospitality, is this. If Gen Z wants magic and unique experiences as guests, is your workplace offering them something similarly engaging, unique, maybe even a little magical? As employees, that feels like the real challenge here.
That's the core question. Try implementing some of these micro changes. Shift from tasks to missions. See what happens. And if you want to explore these strategies further, definitely check out the resources, especially the work from Benoit van Kouwenberg and 20-something.
Great advice. Thanks for diving deep with us today. We'll catch you on the next one.
So, how did it feel? Please let me know in the comments, send me a message on our channels, or email me at mauricio@schulering.com. Mauricio, Mauricio, at Schulering, SCHULERING.com. I can't wait to read your feedback. I hope you enjoy it.